International speaker and futurist Jack Uldrich delivered the keynote speech at this year's Forbes Africa Future of Health Summit in Sandton. I caught up with him afterwards to ask him about the big trends he is seeing in technological advancement in healthcare, especially on the African continent.
I'm really optimistic about the future of healthcare in Africa, but the trends that I see are continued advances in artificial intelligence, something called blockchain technology, data analytics, gene sequencing technology, 3D printing, and robotic technology. And all of these are, in fact, already happening in Africa, but the trends are going to grow exponentially in the years ahead.
Because the continent is moving to roll out universal health care for all, and one of the challenges with that regard is the shortage of healthcare professionals. How do we use the exploits of technology to help fill that gap?
Yeah, so there is a shortage of healthcare workers, and let's just be honest about that. But I think the reason we need to start looking at technology is continued advances in artificial intelligence can help us diagnose diseases faster. So that might be able to get some of the workload off nurses, healthcare professionals, doctors a little bit faster. The continued advances in our understanding of how to leverage data is going to be phenomenal. So maybe one of the opportunities for Africa is to begin training more people in the field of data analytics to say, how do we make more sense of all of this data? How do we get engaged in preventative healthcare information? And how do we get out in front of these diseases before they actually become diseases? So we just have to start thinking about the future of healthcare differently. Instead of treatment, let's look at prevention, and data can help us do that, as can artificial intelligence.
And in thinking about the future differently, what I found very interesting was your thoughts and your ideas on the importance of reverse mentoring to help people who are experienced, healthcare professionals who are experienced, think differently. And you say, and you did show us during your presentation how necessary that is.
Yeah, I think that all of us, especially more experienced people, could benefit from reverse mentors. By all means, continue to mentor younger people, but some of people who are older have to have reverse mentors, because the new tools in mobile technology, in virtual reality, in augmented reality, in artificial intelligence and data analytics, they weren't trained in those fields. Young people are, and they can bring a new perspective, a fresh perspective on a lot of old problems. And I think combined sort of past experience plus a new fresh perspective, young and old, are going to take Africa to an entirely new level. So if you don't have a reverse mentor, get one.
And you know, in a quoting or paraphrasing, you were talking about the future of healthcare essentially as being a weird one, citing the example of Amazon now entering into that space. Just tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, I mean, as we think about the future, we have to have a really open mind. And Amazon is now partnering with a toilet manufacturer, and they're making a smart toilet. And a lot of people might think that that's a silly idea, but what they are working on is they're going to start putting sensors into those toilets. And those sensors, when you and I do our business in the morning, there are biomarkers that tell us that we might be about to get sick or that we might have a cancer. And the Amazons and the other companies are going to be able to begin leveraging that data to begin delivering preventative health care a lot sooner. And surprisingly, they're going to use the toilet as the way to get the information to help give us the personalized, customized health care that we need.
And optimistic about the future of healthcare in Africa, but what are some of the headwinds or the challenges that you foresee that, you know, policymakers and the industry here need to look out for?
Well, I think the biggest thing is the advances in artificial intelligence, data analytics, the Internet of Things are real. The biggest headwind is cybersecurity, is that this is a real threat. And there are so many benefits of these advances, but I think that we have to be honest to say security is a real issue, and we have to think long and hard about how to address cybersecurity. But here's where I would go back to blockchain technology. It's not going to solve every problem, but it has the potential to keep healthcare data very, very secure, and might be one of the ways to allow us to leverage all of the benefits of the Internet of Things and artificial intelligence.